Hey, my name is Matt. I'm the founder of Ranking Tactics and also the creator of ZimmWriter, the world's first and only AI writing software that runs on your Windows computer and lets you write up to 1,000 blog posts in bulk with the press of one button. But we're not talking about that today. What we're talking about is the new, hot off the presses, guidance by Google on writing high quality product reviews. This actually dropped about an hour and a half ago. So this is fresh and this is stuff that we've never seen before. You definitely want to pay attention to this if you are a product reviewer. And this is not just for affiliate marketers. This goes well beyond affiliate marketing. This is for people that review movies, people that review video games, people that review services or offer services. This is very wide in its coverage of what it applies to. And you need to pay attention to this because while all of these things might not quite be implemented yet, and we don't know how much weight they're given by the Google algorithm, if you're not directing your content with this direction going forward, but your competition is, they might be ranking higher than you. So let's dive in. Let's look at this guidance to see how it applies to you and what you can do about it. So we'll find this guidance linked on this Google search status dashboard. It came out today, April 12th, 2023, 9 o'clock Pacific. You'll find this link down here, how to write high quality reviews. So a lot of meat in here, and we'll go step by step through it all and pick it apart and see how it can possibly apply for your situation. So it says, write high quality reviews. Publishing high quality reviews can help people learn more about things they are considering, such as products. So there's our affiliate marketing, services. Maybe we got something like Angie's List possibly, but also just maybe people that offer services. We're talking about our services. Destinations. Are you a travel blogger? This might apply to you. Games. Are you a video game reviewer or a board game reviewer? This could apply to you. Movies. Are you a movie critic, movie reviewer, or other topics? For example, you could write a review as an expert staff member or a merchant. So this is the actual seller right here who guides people between competing products. So you offer a SaaS product, all right, or you offer a physical product. At the bottom of your footer of your page, you'll have some comparisons of your product versus others. This could apply to you. A blogger that provides independent opinions. So this is your stereotypical affiliate marketer or just blogger that has affiliate stuff on their website. An editorial staff member at a news or publishing site. So this is like the New York Times that's just riding on their high domain authority to publish reviews about the best barbecue grills or something like that, something they have no idea about, but they're just using that authority to rank higher. Google's coming for you too. So this is what we need to do to help people discover your review pages in Google search and on other Google surfaces. Follow these best practices. So here we go. Evaluate from a user's perspective. What does this mean? In my opinion, this means we're not just selling the features. We're not acting as the car salesman, but rather we're writing from the perspective of that picky buyer, someone that's went into to Walmart and looked at the 30 different toothpastes and compared every single one. What whitens my teeth? What's going to leave me with fresh breath? What has an artificial sweetener? What doesn't? And stuff like that. I'm not saying you got to review 30 different products, but that's the kind of mentality that a user, a picky shopper is going to be analyzing the product from. So that's the perspective we need to approach our product reviews from, and not from the, hey, this is the best thing since sliced bread. You need to buy it because of all these features. And maybe there's no criticism, there's no commentary in that review. The second bullet point is demonstrate that you are knowledgeable about what you are reviewing. Show you are an expert. Now, this can come multiple different ways. This can come from just who you are. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. There's this guy, and I really like his channel. I don't know his channel name, but he buys like all the different robot vacuum cleaners, all the little Roombas and stuff, and he faces them all off and goes through all these exhaustive tests. That's the guy you go to learn about a robot vacuum cleaner. So you could demonstrate your knowledge through your YouTube channel. You could demonstrate your knowledge possibly if you're like a reputable person that's written books on the particular topic. You could also just demonstrate your knowledge by just buying the products and having actual photos of you using the product. So maybe you don't have that YouTube channel, but you're taking all those custom photos that just don't exist and are impossible to fake with those AI image generators. So you need to somehow demonstrate. And this demonstration, though, needs to be in a way that Google can determine it. Google's still a robot. Yes, they do have manual reviewers, but what are you doing that Google's robot can determine that you are an expert? So you got to think about that when you try to attack this particular perspective. Provide evidence such as visuals, audio, or other links of your own experience with what you are reviewing to support your expertise and reinforce the authenticity of your review. So we have visuals, your personalized photos of the product. You've taken photos that just don't exist. They're not just stock images from the manufacturer website. Audio. Now, this is interesting. You could think of the visuals and the audio being YouTube, but maybe you have a podcast. Maybe you're talking about this on a podcast. I'm just thinking right now about ways that you could, I don't want to say trick the Google algorithm, but you could satisfy the Google algorithm, possibly a podcast, or maybe converting, possibly, your web page text to audio. And I'm not saying that would work. I haven't done any tests on that, but that's maybe something to try out. Or other links of your own experience with what you're reviewing too. Now that's interesting. You could, in your product review blog or website, or I guess we're talking not just about pages in Google search, but also Google surfaces. So your page is going to be your blog, but another Google surface is going to be on YouTube. So if we're thinking of some kind of algorithm that's applying very wide, not just to blogs, but also to YouTube, for instance, what could a link of your own experience be? On your blog, a link could be to your YouTube channel. You know, on our YouTube channel, I guess a link could be to our blog. So we start to intertwine a lot of these different social channels. We are talking about this particular product a lot. Possibly Google might start seeing you as an authority. And I don't know, but maybe Google's looking at who's linking to you. When we talk about backlinks, Google's looking at what authoritative websites are linking to your site. So we start thinking about YouTube, and I guarantee you, Google's looking at the YouTube data. Who's subscribing to your channel? Who's following your channel? Are they other enthusiasts in that particular niche? If you have a channel about robot vacuum cleaners, are manufacturers of robot vacuum cleaners following you? Are other people that are talking about robot vacuum cleaners following you? So that could be a way that you could possibly demonstrate your experience. Now, we don't know. We haven't done any tests on this yet, but that's a possibility. That's maybe what I would do if I was trying to satisfy this factor from an algorithmic standpoint. Share quantitative measurements about how something measures up in various categories of performance. Now, this is a lot easier to do. You could just use the specifications of the product and say, hey, I'm reviewing leaf blowers. This leaf blower has this CFM. This leaf blower has this CFM. That's something you can just get from Amazon data or manufactured data. But if you want to go beyond that, you could do some actual real world tests. All right, we know all these leaf blowers have this CFM data, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big pile of leaves over here and test how many cubic feet of leaves it blows from 10 feet of distance. Because as the distance increases, the amount that it's going to push is going to decrease. Now, the question is, that would be possibly beneficial for users, but can Google possibly detect that? Can Google understand that this is a new quantitative measurement that has never been tested before or is not frequently demonstrated and is definitely not discussed on the manufacturer's website or Amazon's website? If their algorithm can pick up on that, very well could be a ranking factor. So you should be thinking about these things of what can I put into a table? And then the stuff that I'm going to put into a table, is it stuff that I can just pull from Amazon or from the manufacturer, or am I going to have to do my own tests? Okay. Explain what sets something apart from its competitors. This is really simple right here. You can just go to Amazon and compare the different product reviews. You're looking at leaf blowers. This battery life for this leaf blower doesn't last very long. This one lasts 2 hours. That's very easy to determine even without holding or physically touching the product. Cover comparable things to consider or explain which might be best for certain uses in certain circumstances. Now, this is interesting. If you go thinking of it just a product review, I got that affiliate marketing mindset right now. That's just where my brain's going right now. Imagine you're thinking about picking up acorns. Now, there's multiple ways to pick up acorns. All right, you can pick up acorns it's like a little cage and you roll across the lawn and the acorns pop inside. Other people might end up using a vacuum cleaner, not like not an indoor one, but like a shop vac, right? The shop vac's another way to pick up acorns. Other people might use a rake. So when you think about writing a product review, there might be unconventional solutions that just an average, all right, a mediocre product review website might not have thought about. And so if you put some more time into thinking about out of the box solutions, solar is great. Maybe you offer solar installation services, or maybe you're reviewing a couple services that do. All right. But then also you can do DIY solar. So maybe you could, in your product review or your service review, and you're reviewing these companies, you could say, hey, by the way, if these might be out of your ballpark of price range, you could also do some DIY stuff. Here's a link to a couple different DIY sites. Here's a link to the DIY solar site on Reddit and all that stuff. I always think, yeah, I'm going to do DIY solar. And I go on there and I'm like, yeah, this is complicated. I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon. So that might be something to think about. Unconventional ways to accomplish the searcher's intent, whatever they're trying to do, pick up acorns or install or get solar for their house or something. Unconventional solutions that the other review sites have not thought about. Discuss the benefits and drawbacks of something based on your own original research. All right, so let's go back to the top here. We're looking at products. So this wouldn't be like a product roundup, but maybe should I upgrade to a new M1 Mac computer if I have an Intel Mac computer? Should I upgrade to an M2? All right, so this is the benefits and the drawbacks of that particular approach versus not doing it. Describe how a product has evolved from previous models or releases to provide improvements, address issues. This is an easy one, I think, for a lot of affiliate marketers to, and this wouldn't apply to a lot of these different contexts. You're not going to talk about movies like Scream 2 was better than Scream 1. But I think this is very applicable to affiliate marketers and very easy to satisfy without physically touching that product. Because you can, if you're diligent, and maybe you can do this on Fiverr, you can hire somebody to do it, you can get those old product manuals and start looking at what's changed. Or you can maybe dig up archive.org, look at the previous models, and start keeping a database of that, what's changed. And then you can easily, especially with AI, satisfy this requirement. And it would be truthful also. The previous, using the leaf blower example, had a 500 CFM motor. It put out 500 CFM. The upgraded version, the new version 2.0, puts out 600. You can talk about that. And then you can talk about how does that apply in the real world? Is that going to make a significant difference? Very easy to do without touching the physical product. Focus on the most important decision-making factors based on your experience or expertise. For example, a car review might determine that fuel economy and safety are key decision factors and rate performance in those areas. That's important. It's another thing that you can do without physically touching the product. But that takes some thought, that takes some research. If you're going to go buy if you're going to go buy a car, for instance, who really cares how big the side mirrors are? No one cares about that. But we care about performance. How many horsepower does it have? How big is the LCD display if it has one? Does it have Bluetooth? Those are much more important considerations if you buy cars. So you have to think and use your brain, use your intelligence. What are the most important factors? That first factor, evaluate from a user's perspective. Don't just go pull some factors like, oh, I got the weight here for the car. Who cares about the weight? No one cares about that. Find what factors would matter to you if you were buying it from that customer's perspective, and then focus on those factors. Rank them, order them, and focus more attention on those most important ones. Describe key choices in how a product has been designed and their effect on the users beyond what the manufacturer says. Now, this is very interesting. I'll go to Apple, for example. These Apple products, they're so simple, but there's been a lot of thought that goes into these products by Apple, a lot of design considerations, a lot of things that we don't normally think about. All right. And if you can figure out what those design considerations were and then think about the rationale for them, why did they design this thing here? Why did, why did they take out the MagSafe charger? That was stupid right there. But a lot of the decisions are intelligent, and you can start thinking about why did they do it this particular way? How does that help the consumer? And then you could apply that concept to other brands, other types of products in the same category. Oh, this garden rake has this particular handle on it. Why do they have this particular handle? Oh, because it saves you from bending over. It's angled or something like that. So it saves your back. It saves you from bending over. These rakes don't have that. Now, that might have not been pointed out by the manufacturer, but you can point that out as a product reviewer. Include links to other useful resources, your own or from other sites, to help the reader make a decision. These are your general citations. For further reading, go to these particular websites. If you want to learn more about this, look at this page on Wikipedia. It's pretty easy to satisfy. Obviously, attack it from the perspective of Google. The Google bot's going to be looking at your web page, right? So what sources would the Google robot, think would be authoritative? So think about that. Approach it from that perspective. Consider including links to multiple sellers to give the reader an option to purchase from their merchant of choice. This has been a recommendation since the Google review update came out. So this is an old recommendation that's still in here. I don't know. It seems stupid. Everybody just goes to Amazon now. But if you can, link to Amazon, link to Best Buy. I don't know what niche you're in. Have a couple different options, a couple different choices in there. When recommending something as the best overall or the best for a certain purpose, include why you consider it the best with firsthand supporting evidence. Now, what is firsthand usually means I've had it in my hand, I've used it, I've experienced this. This is why I believe it. Could you fake it till you make it? I don't know. I think you don't necessarily need to touch everything. Why do I use an iPhone and a Mac? Because I love the sync between them. I love on my Mac, I can copy something and just paste it immediately on my iPhone. I love how when I'm on my Mac, I can just get a FaceTime audio call through my phone, but on my Mac. Like the seamlessness is just phenomenal. And you can figure that out without handling it, but a lot of that does come from handling it. Definitely provide that experience if you can. Ensure there is enough useful content in your ranked list for them to stand on their own, even if you chose to write separate, in-depth single reviews. So ensure there's enough useful content in your ranked list to stand on their own. So what that means is if you weren't going to write separate in-depth reviews, make sure that there's enough meat in there for your product roundups. You're reviewing the top 10 leaf blowers or the top 5 leaf blowers, put some meat in there. You just don't want bones with no meat on them. Give the reader something to chew on. Make it enough that they can make an informed decision, even though you could write more on it. So maybe you write your 2,000 word single product review. All right, take the 500 most important words about that product and bring that into your product roundup. Reviews often use affiliate links so that if someone finds a review useful and follows the provided link to purchase, the creator of the review is rewarded by the seller. If you do this, see Google's position on affiliate programs, probably something important to check out. Reviews can be a great resource for people making decisions. When writing reviews, focus on the quality and the originality of the reviews, not the length, following as many of the above practices as you're able. This will deliver the most value to those reading your reviews. Google's in the business of delivering the best result to the users. I've said this before in terms of AI content, in my opinion, and Google's kind of gone on the record now and said they don't care who wrote the article. They care if it provides value to the reader. If it does not provide value to the reader, what's going to happen? The reader will be unsatisfied with their Google search. If the top 10 results on Google are crap, someone's not going to use Google anymore. They're going to go to Bing and use new Bing. What do they call it? Bing bot? I don't know. Super Bing, AI Bing. I don't know. They'll start using Bing. I don't like the name anyways, but they'll start using Bing, and Google doesn't want that. So they want to give the reader, the searcher, the best results possible. This will deliver the most value to your readers. So don't focus on length, but if you need a 5,000 word article to explain how to buy the best fill in the blank, the best MacBook, the best computer, the best leaf blower, then fine, write 5,000 words. But if you don't need 5,000 words, don't use 5,000 words. So you do have to use your brain here, but obviously look what the competition's doing. Look at what the top 10 in the SERP are doing. And they're obviously ranking with those particular word counts for a reason. So that covers the update to writing high quality reviews. A lot of meat in there, a lot of things to think about. And as an AI software developer, there's things for me to think about too. How can I further improve ZimmWriter to possibly address some of these factors to the best of my ability in an ethical manner, in a legitimate manner. So hope you got some value out of this. If you have any questions, any comments, or if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, drop a comment down below. If you don't know what ZimmWriter is, there's also a lot of videos on my channel about that. And I have a Facebook group with tons of AI enthusiasts, over 5,000 amazing people, absolutely amazing people. It's growing at leaps and bounds, and I'd love to see you there. So again, hope you found value out of this. Good luck with your content generation. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.